Okay, so we're live on Facebook. I mean YouTube. What's up, YouTube? My man Zach SATHER here.
Sober Talk with Brother Brandon, the Raging Cajun. It's the weekend, baby.
Ready? And we're live.
Sober Talk with Brother Brandon, the Raging Cajun. It's the weekend, baby.
Welcome back to another episode of Sober Talk with Brothers Brandon, the Raging Cajun. It's the weekend, baby. Hope everybody's having a beautiful day, having a beautiful weekend. Sundays are great for relaxation. It's great days to praise the Lord or your Creator. It's great days to watch football. Even though the Saints are 0-4, I'm still black and gold to the Super Bowl, baby. It's in my blood. I ain't no choosy Susie. I don't change with whoever's winning. I'm the home team to the day I die. But today's show is being sponsored by Tied for Second Sober Living and New Freedom Family Center right here in Bismarck, North Dakota. If you're looking for a bed, you're looking to go to treatment with your kids, or if you're looking to go to treatment and you're pregnant, the New Freedom Family Center is the center for you. It's very unique facility right here in Bismarck, North Dakota. So you have New Freedom Center, where I went to treatment at in 2018, February 12th, 2018 is the day my life changed forever. They have Tied for Second, Sober Living for men and women, multiple houses, and now they have New Freedom Family Center. Right now they're accepting pregnant women, and soon they will be accepting women with children. They can bring their children with them to treatment, and it's a very unique facility center that's here to help the world. But check it out if you're looking for some help, looking for a bed. But I got a special guest on this Sunday evening. He's a Cowboys fan. His jersey goes back to the early 1990s. It's very faded, but he's hardcore. I mean, his great grandpappy was next door neighbors to Jerry Jones. But I got my man Zach Sather in the house. How you doing, Zach?
Good, brother. Doing good.
You having a good day?
Having a good day. Yep.
Yep.
Here at the shop, having a football event with our sober houses.
I know I seen you on the grill on the ones
Yeah.
and twos. Hey, thanks for the food, brother.
Yeah.
It was really good. A nice camaraderie. A lot of sober people come together and watch football.
Yeah.
It's a great thing. So how long have you been sober and clean, Zach?
Since October 13th of 2021. So
Congratulations, brother.
2 more weeks and it'll be 4 years.
Okay. What size shirt do you wear or hoodie?
So, XL.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to get you some gear together. Well, congratulations, brother. Is this the longest of sobriety you've ever had?
Yeah, by far.
Yeah, he said by
except
far.
except the first 10 years of my life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where were you born and where did you grow up at, Zach?
I was born in Phoenix, Arizona. I was raised outside of Valley City, North Dakota. My mom
Okay.
moved me up here when I was pretty young, so pretty
Okay.
much raised up there.
Do you have a big family, brothers, sisters, or
I've got a really odd family. I've got a half brother, a half sister, two step brothers, and a stepsister. And
hey, it doesn't matter how you want to frame it, but it is a family,
yep, for sure.
and they know you, and you know them.
Yeah.
Any spiritual life growing up?
Yeah, so I guess I was kind of raised, my mom was like Lutheran, and then I lived with my grandmas on the weekends a lot, and she was a devout Catholic, so I kind of had like the mix of both Lutheran and Catholic upbringing.
Okay.
I was confirmed Catholic and did First Communion and all this stuff. If you were staying at grandma's house, part of her rules where you had to go to Sunday school, had to go to church, all that stuff. So
So what's the difference between Valley City and Jamestown?
about 28 miles.
Okay. I heard there's a college there.
Yeah, there is a college area. It's kind of a predominantly a college town, I guess.
Right.
I think there's like 8,000 people there.
Any
Went to school.
fairs or anything growing
No,
up?
not really. No,
Okay.
no. So I actually grew up north of Valley City in a small town called Daisy. So there's about 80 people, and I lived about 3 miles away from that. So I grew up in the boonies.
In the boonies?
Yeah.
Uh, Cattle?
We had about 30 head of cattle until I was, I don't know, 13.
Yep. So you grew up with the senses of animal poop.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
for sure. Yeah,
This livestock on a good auction day
yeah,
ain't nothing to you.
yeah. No, every morning.
Um, how old were you first tried drugs and alcohol, Zach?
I think we were probably, so I can't remember exactly if I was sneaking like beers from my parents before this point, but at 10 years old, I broke my arm really bad and had a really bad surgery. And that's when I first realized, looking back and going through like the steps with my sponsor and
Right.
treatment and stuff, I realized that's when I realized I could, that's when I learned to mask my internal uh, issues at 10 years old. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like Oxycontin and Percocets,
At 10?
at 10, yeah.
Um, and how did you get access to those?
So like I said, I broke my arm. It's a kind of a long story if I can get into it, but
Yeah.
I broke my arm and I had to have a
How'd you
surgery.
break your arm?
Fell off a trampoline.
Okay. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Either the springs will break you or
My knees buckled and I went over the edge and
yep.
tried to catch myself and it busted backwards. So it was a really bad break.
Mm-hmm.
So and it was crazy like right around that time. So my mom, I was actually born a different name.
Okay.
My mom was engaged to a guy.
Oh, I thought you was talking about your first name.
No, no, I don't know if it was the first name. I'm pretty sure my whole name was changed at 3 years old.
Okay.
But so early on, my mom was married to a guy in between a divorce with him and then engaged to another guy,
Okay.
named me after him.
Okay.
And then they split up and then we came up to North Dakota
Okay.
when I was 4 years
Well,
old.
I can tell you
Yeah,
this. I've never met my father,
yeah,
but in sobriety, I was able to find his gravesite and go read a letter to him.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? So I can relate with you, brother.
yeah. So
Are you my brother?
no, no, I actually did meet my dad. So it was crazy how that all worked around the time that I broke my arm. Obviously, like the first 10 years of my life, I didn't have a dad. Mom was coming to like bring your dad to school days, and my mom was like the dual parent.
So next question. What doctor gives a 10-year-old Oxycontin?
Yeah, I don't know. This was back in the day.
Was it liquid?
Oh, oh, so this is back when it was hot.
Was that a rub on?
No, it was pills. They gave me OxyContin and like Percocet in between. So
Yeah.
yeah, and right around that time, I was like I said, my mom was. Uh, I didn't know who my dad was. I didn't know if it
Right.
was her husband, her
Right.
ex-husband, or her fiance, the guy she was engaged to. So we ended up doing some paternity tests and
Yep.
genetic tests. During the surgery, I ended up they gave me penicillin, so I broke out in hives. I was allergic. They
Mhm.
like intubated me the whole nine. When I came out of surgery, I was on Benadryl for a couple of days for the
Okay.
rash and the hives and stuff.
Mhm.
And then when I came out of that like coma type thing, my mom gave me the DNA results, and I was like stoked, so excited to find out which one of these guys was.
Yep.
And it turns out it was just a guy that my mom worked with.
Yeah.
So It was kind of one of those deals.
Was he a Cowboys fan?
No, he's a Cardinals fan. Yeah. So
How did you become a Cowboys fan?
I don't know, man. So I started out as a Packer fan years ago.
Okay.
I
It
converted.
ain't easy being
Yeah,
cheesy.
no. No, I grew up. I was born in '89, so I grew up, in our prime, in the Cowboys prime. So that's
Mhm.
probably what
Yeah.
converted me.
Troy Aikman and
Yeah, that makes
Emmitt
sense.
Smith and
Yeah, prime time. Got the
yeah,
prime time on.
yeah. Primetime used to be doing that dance thing uniform. Um, what what was like middle school and high school like for you?
So like I said, man, at 10 years old, it's like everything changed. Everything changed for me at 10 years old after that. Um, I- Subliminally, I learned that I could mask. I never felt comfortable in my own skin.
Right.
My mom had married a couple other guys, married a guy at one point,
Mm-hmm.
who I have two stepbrothers.
Mm-hmm.
So grew up with them.
Were y'all close?
We were pretty close. We kind of fell apart the last couple years, but
Yeah.
kind of chatting a little bit. But obviously I was struggling for quite a while, so I was kind of outcasted from the whole family for quite a while. But growing up, I was never comfortable in my own skin. I was always like the stepbrother, the odd man out. You know what I mean? So growing up, yeah, it was. I would say my mom tried really hard. My stepdad were all they tried their best. They did what they thought was best.
Mm-hmm.
But um, I think this is like 12. At 12 years old, I was questioned for my first breaking and entering. I was charged for my first unlawful entry at 13 years old.
What were you stealing?
So we broke into a gas station in our small town and stole some smokes, some jerky, and some dews.
Yeah. Yeah.
Essentials.
Yeah. Big
We were
Saturday
12. I
night,
was
huh?
12.
And y'all
Yeah,
got caught?
I got caught. Yeah, I got caught with the merch. So
Yeah. So did you go to like juvenile?
no, that was pretty much all throughout my life is just this repetitive cycle of like getting slaps on the wrist,
Yeah.
getting bonded and bailed out by my parents, slapped
Yeah.
on the wrist. It's just kind of that repetitive cycle. At 13, I was questioned for another one. That was just stupid. I was just showing off at an open gym.
Right.
By 14, I got my first. I think 14, my mom found my first paraphernalia in my car,
What she found?
a weed pipe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Weed pipes will get you every time.
yeah, yeah, it's the gateway. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. I mean, that was just the start of it. It was just a vicious cycle until I turned 17. At 16, I moved out of my mom's house.
Did you
Um,
drop out of school?
no, I actually enrolled myself into Valley City. So midway through my junior year, I moved out of my mom's house and I moved in with some family friends in Valley City, and then I enrolled myself there and ended up graduating high school in Valley City. So
Well, that's what's up,
yeah,
brother.
yeah.
Most people they be like, nah, I dropped out, got my
Yeah.
GED.
No, no, I did. I followed through with school. I graduated at 17. I was also charged as an adult at 17 too.
For what?
That time it was false information to law enforcement and theft by deception. A couple
Okay.
counts of some bogus checks, some
Yeah.
dumb stuff.
Yeah, you little sticky finger. Remind me of
Yeah, it was bad. It just kept getting worse and worse from there.
Yep. And so did you go to big boy jail?
So 19, I got sentenced. This was '09, so I got into more trouble. I'd never ended up going to prison. I got sentenced to a year and a day, and then they just kicked me right to a halfway house.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, this was like there was a bunch of floods and stuff going on, so I did like 8 months at CRU in Jamestown in a halfway house there at the
Mm-hmm.
time. So
And
again, got bonded out. Stepdad bought a lawyer. All the things that like were happening to not help direct my life in the right way.
right.
So
You you have any hobbies besides stealing?
so I grew up fishing and hunting, man.
Okay.
That was
At the reservoir.
yeah, yeah. So we were up around the Lake Ashtabula area, did lots of hunting. My stepdad had lots of good hunting land, so
Mm-hmm.
grew up hunting and fishing. Obviously in my addiction, I had to stay away from hunting and fishing. Not able to possess firearms, that type of stuff.
Right.
But the last probably 4 or 5 years, since I've been in recovery for sure, really been like honing in on fishing and bow hunting. So those are my
Okay.
hobbies today.
Well, that's what's up.
Yeah.
What type of fish do you go for?
I usually try to go for walleye.
Yeah.
I mean
And always
that's
catch a northern?
nah. I do all right in
Where
walleye
you go? The
fishing, but
reservoir?
yeah. So I had a buddy that I was working with that's got a boat. We did a lot of river fishing here in town. We go up to Skakawea, salmon
You know what
fishing.
kind of boat is the best boat to have?
What's that?
buddy that's got one.
For sure. Yeah, for sure, man.
Um, so it were all those years, were you high, drunk?
So I guess that's both, for the most part. Obviously I would get on probation and then I would do whatever I could to.
Did you ever graduate to other drugs?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I was at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to drugs, man.
Yeah.
Towards the end of my addiction, I was speedballing meth and heroin on
IV?
the IV. Yeah,
Yep.
yep.
Yep. So
Yeah, it progressed. It progressed.
you was a
Yeah,
up and down all around it,
yeah.
huh?
At the same time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So have you ever overdosed?
I guess I would say maybe yes. I've never been to the hospital for one, but there was one time where I was pretty sure it was an overdose.
Do you think we all overdose in our sleep and this is the afterlife?
Uh, Very well could be.
Nah, I don't think it'd be
Very
a
well could
Cowboys
be.
jersey in the
Yeah,
afterlife.
I know that he's probably doing a little better than.
Um, how old were you when you first went to treatment?
I was 16 when I first went to treatment. So,
Okay. And where'd you go?
there's a treatment center in Jamestown that I went to. I think it was like Southwest Human Service Center or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And what month of the year were you born in?
June. I'm a
June?
Gemini.
Okay. Uh, and one thing I've learned about Geminis is that they're great people.
Yeah,
Call August.
yeah,
Call
yeah.
August. And so um how many treatments have you been to?
I did
10?
roughly 10 inpatient treatments. Yeah,
Okay.
yep. And then
Uh
I guess if you consider a state hospital stay, you know,
yeah,
I started on the psych ward, made my
you
way
did the
down.
whole
Yeah,
circuit.
yeah, yeah. Did the whole gamut.
At any time did you just say, okay, I'm gonna do this serious in those 10 times?
My last time I did. Yep.
Okay, how did you end up in treatment? What led you up to that 10th treatment?
Well, my first 9 treatments were all forced,
Yeah.
probation, parole. I was on intermediate measure, family. I had a couple of kids. I had a kid on the way,
Hmm.
so I was trying to do right. I was never doing it for the right reason. The last time I went to treatment, I was in a very, very, very sick state. I had fully accepted causing harm to somebody and either dying or going to prison. And at that point, I truly, for the first time ever, like humbly asked Jesus Christ to save my life and come into my life.
Right.
I'm in a mid like mental breakdown at this point. And then, yeah, 3 or 4 days later, probation put a drug patch on me, and I knew I couldn't
Right.
give her the drug patch, so I
What you know
checked
about that
myself.
drug patch?
Yeah,
I know about that
yeah,
drug patch.
yeah. So I knew I couldn't give it back to her, so I sought out a treatment center here in Bismarck, which is a New Freedom Center treatment center.
Yep.
So,
Shout out to New Freedom
yep.
Center. I also went to New Freedom Center. New Freedom, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? New
yeah,
Freedom Center is the first treatment I ever went to in my life, and hopefully the last.
yeah. So I went to a place in Fargo, and they asked me the question, like, do you feel like harming yourself or others? And I was so out of it at that time. I looked at it like a multiple choice question, so I was like, well, others.
Yeah.
And so they denied me, and then I called New Freedom Center because I had been there 2 other times to the
Okay.
Freedom Center here. So third time, yeah, they told me they could get me in a couple of days, and I got in here and hit the ground running.
Okay. Um, and so how long did you stay in treatment?
I completed the treatment program.
What did you learn this time?
I really developed a relationship with a higher power.
Okay.
That's really what the main thing was.
Right.
There's things in that treatment that I was seeing signs that I could only explain that were signs that I was on the right path. Things were happening to me um, that was just letting me know that there was a direct connection between me and a higher power.
Right.
And I just stayed on. Honestly, going into treatment, I didn't even really fully believe in a higher power. I didn't believe. I would have told you that God's not real.
Yeah.
I did have that like what do they call foxhole prayer a little bit,
Yeah.
but I feel like it was from that point on that things just started like turning in the right direction. So.
Did you start going to meetings, like recovery meetings?
Yeah, yeah. So I actually I knew some guys. I had tried the recovery thing multiple times. I was
Mhm.
at Firm Foundations in Jamestown for a while. I was at
Mhm.
an F5 house in Fargo. Um multiple other sober livings. but I knew a couple of the guys from Firm Foundations that were in Bismarck, and when
Mm-hmm.
I got to Bismarck in treatment, I hit those guys up. I utilized one as a sponsor, so
Mm-hmm.
we started coming to treatment. We started working the steps wholeheartedly.
Yep.
This time, every time I half measured it before, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they had me going to meetings. They had me going to church. I got baptized at Evangel Church.
Me too, brother. Shout out to Evangel.
Yeah,
No, a church like no other.
yeah. So it was crazy. I was opened up to a whole new world of like sober people that were positive people that were doing the right things. They weren't just waiting for me to nod out to rob me, waiting for me to go to jail to rob my house,
Mm-hmm.
So I just dove in head first, with the 12 steps. I worked the steps with my sponsor and did everything that the treatment center asked me to do. I took suggestions that I didn't really want to
Did
take.
you go to sober living?
So right away, so yeah, I'm gonna say right now that after treatment, I wasn't perfect. Went to treatment and I went to sober living, and then I was in sober living in Bismarck here for 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and I got kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
The whole house got kicked out.
This is the whole
The
house
whole
got
house, the whole house got run up. So I was stone sober. I had 60 days on the day, and I got kicked out of sober living that time. So I had to hitchhike back to Valley City.
okay.
Took me 4 days to get there, but I hitched rides. I
Oh,
stayed.
you really hit
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
He said, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He said, my thumb froze.
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
started to
Well,
defrost.
I knew some people that were like coming back and forth, so I hitched rides with people to get to a ride to get to Jamestown, and then it took me a couple of days to get back to Valley City. So yeah.
Right. Um, how did you become the director of Tied for Second Sober Living?
Well, so I was working heating and cooling I was just doing HVAC for the first 3 years
Mm-hmm.
of my recovery, and I was coming home. I was doing lots of meetings at the beginning. The first year and a half of my recovery, I was doing like roughly 10 meetings a week.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I kind of petered out. I really quit. I just neglected my recovery. I wasn't doing nothing in the program. I wasn't working with guys.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't contacting my sponsor. Wasn't doing any meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, starting to be real self-centered, and I would get home at night, and I would just like feel like I needed to do more.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that was, I was praying on it frequently. I just quit my job, man. I had a bad day at work. Me and the boss got into it. I quit my job, and my fiance, I called her and I let her know, like, hey, I was crying,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I quit my job, and she was actually at work, and she's a secretary at New Freedom Center,
Mm-hmm.
and the owner, Josh Olson,
Mm-hmm.
happened to overhear the conversation and just was like, hey, is everything okay? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
She told him what happened, and then he said, whatever you do, make sure he calls me because we'll get a job for him or whatever. And um, yeah, so I knew at that point, I knew I wanted to do something in the recovery field. I went to her mom's that day and built a resume with her mom, and her mom helped me build like a resume for like a treatment facility of some sort.
Yep.
And then, yeah, an opportunity opened up for me the very next day.
You didn't think
Josh,
about trying out for the Cowboys?
no, no, I'm too slow and dumb.
You could have been a water boy, boy,
Yeah.
to do shades. Mm.
So yeah, the next day, Mike and Josh reached out to me, and I met up with at that time Mike Lindy was the director.
Yep.
So
Great organization.
yeah, yeah, for sure. They reached out to me. I was familiar with Josh. Josh was familiar with me. Obviously, my fiance works at New Freedom Center, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And didn't you play on the
yeah, yep,
softball team?
yep. So I played on. I finally made it. I finally made it on the softball team
Yeah.
the last 2 years.
The
So
Bad News Bears. Is he good? Huh?
yeah, so yeah, I guess there was some familiarity there with everybody, and obviously, me going to treatment a couple times, they knew my name,
Yeah.
that type of stuff. So
And so, what exactly does Tied for Second offer? Um, do you have to be a male? Do you have to be a female? Do you have to be a free person? How much do you have to pay a month? How many?
yeah,
What is the rundown of Tied for Second?
so I guess our setup in town, we have two women's houses, four men's houses, one women's condo, and then three men's condos. Basically, the condos are kind of like the extended stays
Yeah,
after living with us for
the
side
top
of me. It's a
tier.
top tier, yeah. It's a lot more independent living.
Hmm.
We don't do like house meetings with the condos. It's like they're expected to just live independently,
Right.
handle their
They're
business, and
handpicked.
yeah, yeah, for sure, yeah. Other than that, I guess we take people of all walks of life. We take people from multiple treatment centers in town. We take people from BTC Center. jails. We got I think 5 or 6 people on federal pretrial. We've got multiple people from Heartview, lots of people from New Freedom Center. Obviously, New Freedom Center is kind of like our first choice. We really like to
Right.
keep people in the program and offer them beds when available. But
Right.
we have anywhere from generally 45 to like 60-ish people. So
Okay. Well, how does it feel to be called the director?
yeah, I guess yeah, it feels pretty good. I guess I
Mhm.
don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't ever thought
You
so.
got your own card yet?
Yeah, I do. I made
I'm gonna have to get one of those from you.
card club. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was working under Mike for like 4 months, 4 or 5 months,
Mhm.
while this whole New Freedom Family Center was
Mhm.
coming about, and then Mike was the director when I first started, and then
Showing you the ropes.
showing me the ropes. Yep, yep. So I had lots of lived experience, man. I did like 21 months of sober living, so
Mhm.
I knew all the ins and outs. I know all the ways
Mhm.
to like Uh, I wrote the book on BS. You know
Right.
what I mean? So I know when
Right.
people are you know,
Yeah.
threading that line, or I know
Uh-huh.
when they're doing
I
that.
ate a bad taco.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, no, the Mike got commissioned up to the New Freedom Family Center, and they asked me to take over his position. And since then, yeah, we've hired Spirit.
Hmm.
She's in the rooms too, so she's been a great help for that.
That's
She also has lots and lots of sober living experience. So
Yep. Well, that's great. That's amazing, brother.
yeah,
You're a true walking miracle.
yeah,
And,
yeah,
and now you're like in the position to like help others at a wide range.
yeah, yeah.
So what's the turnaround kind of on beds in your facilities? Is the
Well,
waiting list like stretch out around the
I,
corner?
I operate things a little bit differently. I don't have like a first in, first out waiting list. Generally, like right now, if you looked at my computer, I have probably upwards of 200 applications. I get sometimes 10 to 15 applications a day. I really operate on when I do have an opening, I just check out the applications of the people that have remained in contact. So
Mm-hmm.
I generally ask for like a weekly or 2 times a week contact. I don't have time to go through 200 applications, so when I do have an opening, I want the people that are on the chomping at the bit. You know what I mean? So
So are you on call pretty much 24/7
pretty
if
much,
something
pretty
happens?
much 24/7. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I love it though. I get a rush from it.
Yeah,
You know,
you're like
it's
a
like
what they call it, a volunteer fireman. You got
yeah,
that one little a CB radio in your car. Bring 19
yeah.
Foxtrot.
You know, Narcan.
Mike's calling you. How hard this tree back?
Yeah.
Well, that's what's up, brother.
Yeah,
Well, I'm very proud of you.
appreciate it.
How can someone get in touch with New Freedom Center, Tide for Second, or the New Freedom Family Center?
So I guess we all have Facebook pages. There's a Tide for Second Facebook page. There's a website. I know there's a New Freedom Family Center and a New Freedom Center Facebook page.
Hmm.
That would be the best, or you can email me or reach out to me at any point. So,
Okay. And how can they email you if they
uh,
don't know
so
your
so
email?
the email is tied for second soberliving at gmail.com.
Okay.
And then I always take phone calls too. You can always call me, reach out, 701-946-0734. Hopefully
Okay.
that doesn't bite me, but
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
getting a barrage of calls.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, right? You already get a whole bunch of calls.
yeah, I do. I get blown up all the time, but
Yeah.
I don't mind. Honestly, there's also times I take lots of calls with people that might not be ready for sober living, and I'll help them get to where they need to go. You know, it's
Right.
not just like always business with Tide for Second for me. If somebody calls and is in need, I have no problem taking that call, trying to help people get to the place they need to be, whether that's treatment or whatever that looks like. So
Right.
just trying to
So,
help a fellow in recovery. So.
so have you had people that were like at Tide for Second before and then kind of like left and fell off and then now they're like back on the
Yeah,
money train?
yeah, we get it. We get some of that. We definitely have a couple people in our program that are like that. We also have some people in our program that have been with us for like 2.5 years.
Hmm.
So they were here long before I came.
Right.
So we like to keep people. I would say what we found is like the sweet spot is at 9 months to a year. That's
Right.
our ideal state. I mean, for me, the last time I was in sober living was 10 months, and that's what saved my life. So
Right. Well, that's what's up, brother. Um, so what's your sobriety date?
October 13th of 2021. So
So he's got three,
it's
4 years.
about 4 years, and in 2 weeks it'll be 4 years. So
Congratulations,
yeah,
brother.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because
It's
you
fun.
started taking oxycontins at 10 years old. I still want to know what that doctor's name was. Because
Yeah,
I know if my son comes home with a prescription I like
Yeah.
what like the kid even swallow pills? Is it chewables?
No, they weren't chewables. So that was the thing, man. It was like my mom was just following the doctor's orders. You know, it was
Yeah.
take your OxyContin and take Percocets in between. So I was on the double dose. You know, I
Right.
had a really severe break. You know, my whole arm came backwards. I shattered the socket, shattered the I think it was the radial bone or whatever. So they had
Yeah.
to put rods and pins and stuff and everything in
Yeah.
there. So
Well, I'm glad that you're sober. You're not dope sick. You're not
yeah,
dead.
I was. I tell you that much. I
You know what I
was.
mean?
But
Well, you have a lot of experience to be able to give to the world.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, what do you see in the future for Zach?
I just see
Are
my.
you engaged?
I'm engaged. Yep.
How's that? Have you ever been engaged before?
I was engaged one other time. Yep.
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 And
In my
but this time,
addiction.
have you set a date?
Yeah. Yes. July 11th next year. Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
July 11th next year. So
Yep. And so,
this is the first time I've been in a relationship sober.
right.
So I mean, it was all new territory coming into like
Yeah. At
recovery.
least she ain't stealing out her purse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't have to steal it dumb stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. She's also in recovery too.
Right.
So I mean, that makes it. You know, early on we were doing lots of meetings together and just kind of doing the whole deal together. And so that was like that's one of my main the main person that keeps me responsible.
Right.
You know, is having her. So
Is it bro, I'm not sure about this. What NFC or AFC. Can the Cowboys and the Vikings play in the Super Bowl together or the championship game?
it's usually in the playoffs. Yeah. So I've been to the yeah. It's usually early in the playoffs.
Do you think the night of that game, if it happens this year, that you and Josh will be talking to each other?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna put my money on either of those teams making the playoffs, man.
Right.
Be real with you. But if it did come down to it, I'd be probably smack talking Josh pretty good that night.
Yeah, I think y'all would probably not talk for like a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Oh no, we're pretty good spirited about it.
all right. Um, if you had any words of wisdom to tell somebody out there listening right now that was just like you, they've done a whole bunch of treatments, they couldn't stay sober. Uh, it's just life was just up and down and all around, and they're lost and they don't know what to do. Um, and they're having rough days and hard days and dark days. If you had any words of wisdom, what would you tell them?
I would just say surrender to a higher power, even if you don't believe in it. Reach out to the people that care about you, um, and reach out to people that you don't even know. That's really what helped me. Stepping out of that comfort box and kind of stepping into something that that was foreign to me. So just reach out.
Well, amen to that. Well, I got Zach Sather, 4 years of sobriety, director of Tied for Second Sober Living. Shout out to New Freedom Center. Shout out to the New Freedom Family Center. Right now, they're accepting women that are pregnant, and soon they'll be accepting women with their children to give another angle to be able to let people change their lives. Well, I want to thank you for taking this time to come on the show. I'm proud of you. I appreciate you, and you keep doing your thing,
Yeah,
brother.
appreciate it, man.
You know,
Appreciate it.
helping people. And shout out to all the sponsors and people that watch Sober Talk. We are very grateful for you. If you can't stay sober, catch your Uber. And in the words of my great grand sponsor, Jack Height, if nobody told you yet, we love you, baby. Peace and chicken grease. Zach, the man.
Sober Talk with Brother Brandon, the Raging Cajun. It's the week.